Good morning. My name is Ray Batvinis. Last month, as you know, I posted on my website a file called the OF10B file. It's an index to all of the reports that J. Edgar Hoover, the director of the FBI, sent to President Roosevelt, Franklin D. Roosevelt, from September 1939 until the president's death in April of 1945. And they covered a wide span of topics. This month, I'm posting the OSTRICH file. The OSTRICH was a code name, an FBI code name, for the British top secret decryption success against the German Enigma codes. The British code name was called Ultra. It began in January of 1943. J. Edgar Hoover, in November of 1942, sent a young special agent of the FBI by the name of Arthur Thurston to wartime London to serve as his representative to the British Security Service MI5 and to the British Secret Intelligence Service MI6. When he got there, he informed the head of the British Secret Intelligence Service that the FBI already knew that the British were breaking the German Enigma codes. Parenthetically, the German Enigma machine was the top secret machine used by the entire German military and diplomatic service to encode and decode their most sensitive messages. Throughout the entire war, they believed that it was impregnable. They never had any idea that the British were intercepting it and reading it. The British Secret Intelligence Service introduced Thurston to this secret in January of 1943. He was escorted up to St. Albans, a small ancient town about 40 miles north of London, where an estate called Glen Almond was being used by the British Secret Intelligence Service as their collection and distribution point for these top secret messages. Thurston was given access to only those messages that affected espionage, counterespionage, intelligence operations by the Germans and by the Italians, and little less so the Japanese in South America, Central America, and the United States. For the remainder of the war, Thurston had access to these, and then of course he immediately requested assistance, and another agent by the name of John Simperman came to London to assist him in this effort. But these messages were sent to J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI in Washington, and from there they were distributed very carefully to special agents throughout the field in the United States, as well as in Central and South America. They were used only for lead purposes. That is to say, they could not be used for prosecution. The great fear, the overwhelming fear, was that if they were used for prosecution, eventually the secret would seep out, the secret of Ultra would seep out, and the Germans would get wind of it and change their codes. You notice that the FBI's code name for it is Ostrich. We don't know why they called it Ostrich. I've searched, I've hunted, I've tried to figure this out, and I have absolutely no clue why they called it Ostrich. Maybe they just plucked it out of thin air. What you'll see are 5 files, and these are all actually Ultra messages, messages decrypted by the British at their top secret decryption site at Bletchley Park in England. And you will see the ones that were given to the FBI and provided to the FBI. You'll also note when you look on page 1 that it says from the State Department. What that reflects is the fact that these messages were sent double-coded by Thurston through State Department communication channels, actually back to the State Department, who then passed them on to the FBI. At that point, the FBI had no independent communication systems with its own headquarters in Washington, D.C. These will be invaluable for scholars of World War II, scholars studying FBI activities during this period, and will be of interest to the casual historian. Anybody interested in the FBI from just a casual way, who is maybe a casual reader of history. So I hope you enjoyed them. They're fascinating. You can read them at your leisure. There are actually 5 volumes that will be posted. I urge you to read them chronologically. And in closing, if you have any questions for me, or if there's any way I can ever be of any assistance to you, please don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you and have a good day.